What's up guys, FM Campbell here and welcome to another episode of the Aston Villa series. I think we're episode number 4, as you can see in the description / title of this video. Got quite a few things that have obviously been going on. Obviously in the previous episode, if you want to check that out, links in the description to do so. But we were actually approached by potential new owners. So yeah, things are looking bright. If we can get some new owners in, bring a little bit of money into the club, it would be absolutely fantastic for Aston Villa as a team as well. It'll be great for us going forward. So let's get straight into where we left off last time. We've actually continued our good form that we've started off since the last episode at the beginning of the season, beating the likes of Arsenal and Liverpool so far. And we actually played Chelsea on the 1st of November and we beat them 2-1 at Chelsea. Absolute madness. Cesc Fabregas was sent off in the 14th minute, which is always going to be helpful. Fabian Delph made it 1-0, then Duvan Zapata continued his great form and yeah, made it 2-1. And not a last minute, but an 81st minute consolation goal from the penalty spot as well, from Eden Hazard to make it 2-1. So a big 3 points for us. We then moved into the Crystal Palace game, we beat them 3-2, so we're continuing a little streak of runs that we've got with 4th win in the row, including the one in the Capital One Cup. Yeah, Crystal Palace beaten 3-2. It's quite a tight game actually, as you can see. We scored in the 4th minute with Zapata, then they equalised a minute later. Then we made it 2-1 in the 10th minute, and then it was 2-2 in the 36th minute. Fraser Campbell, and it was Delph scoring for us, and then Shamal actually got the winner in the 39th minute. So all the goals were in the first half, and it finished 3-2, so another 3 points on the board. Then we finally lost after a 4-game winning streak. We haven't actually drawn a game since the Man City game, which was 1-1. We lost 2-1 to Stoke away at Stoke. Tough place to go. Somehow with the consolation goal for us. Mame Diouf scoring the 2 goals for Stoke. And then as you can see, we've recently beat Swansea 2-1. Benteke scored and it must have been an own goal. Yeah, Federico Fernandez with the own goal in the 24th minute. And then Benteke returning from injury to finally get on the score sheet. And I think, was that his first goal? Yeah, that was his first goal of the season for us. So, returning from injury, and we actually managed to beat Swansea 2-1 at home, so it was at Villa Park. Ashley Williams got their goal. So yeah, this is what it means for the league. We actually sit quite nicely in 5th. Now, considering if we go to the board and we go to our confidence, and we look at the Premier Division, our expectation is to achieve a mid-table position. So at the minute we're obviously looking at the Europa League, potentially the Champions League, although that's going to be very tough in the long run. The job security is very secure, which is always good at this stage. But yeah, so things are going well in the league as well. Obviously we beat some big teams already, the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool. We have Man United up next as well. So let's see how that goes. But yeah, things are going quite well. Now, in the Capital One Cup, we've actually had a draw. The draw has now been done, and we will play Blackburn. As you can see in the quarter-finals of the Capital One Cup. They're the only non-Premier League team left in the competition, so fingers crossed we can get a good result there, and we can press on and get into the semi-finals. The teams left are Burnley, Chelsea, Arsenal, United, Blackburn and ourselves, and then Man City and West Ham. You would expect Chelsea and City to win their games respectively. Arsenal, Man United, that could be a go either way, but with the form, obviously Falcao with 4 goals and Van Persie with 3 already, yeah, so there you would expect Man United to be favourites, but you never know what can happen in the cup competitions. So, a couple of things that have been going on. Benteke has really been moaning. He's been very unhappy about the lack of first team, as you can see. Wants to chance the first team, and he also wants to join Roma. Roma have been sniffing around, which I think I mentioned in the last episode. So yeah, but Zapata is in such good form. If we go to Zapata, and I'll show you just here, I mean he's got 6 goals in 8 appearances, so he's doing really well. Average rating is 7.20 in his last 5 games. So I mean it's tough because Zapata's been doing so well to just go and drop him and let Benteke back in, especially as Benteke hasn't been 100% fit as of late. Just because of his injury and stuff. As you can see, his match fitness is still not all the way there. He's played 2 games for us and come on off the bench twice as well. So I'm debating what to do about Benteke because he's injury prone. Well, I say he's injury prone. He's just susceptible to injuries. So a little bit unsure what to do about Benteke in the future. Obviously, big clubs are sniffing around him. If we can get his value back up, then we may look to sell him and to invest back into the team. But it's tough with at this stage with strikers. I found it very, very tough to find a striker that I'm comfortable with buying. So we'll have to see what goes on. Obviously, we've got the transfer window coming up in a month's time. And then we also have the players leaving on Bosman that will be able to sign on a free at the end of the season when they're out of contract. So let's see what happens going forward. So yeah, moving on. Let's talk about also, whilst we're on the subject of players moaning, Carlos Sanchez has been moaning. A couple of teams have been looking at him and sniffing around him, and also he's been moaning about playing time as well. So we'll see what happens with him too going forward. After the Palace game, which was after this one, after the 3-2 win, we actually moved into 4th place. So we're in the Champions League spots for the time being. But then obviously that Stoke result really let us down, knocks us back down the table slightly. So obviously we're pressing for the 4th place. But the likelihood of us getting, we're equal on points obviously. But I mean, over the string of the season, we've still got to play all these big teams again. We've got Man United coming up, as I said, and then Tottenham. So yeah, quite a lot of big games. Obviously, we're still very, very early on. All this could fall apart in front of us. So let's see what happens. The board actually offered us a new contract, which we duly accepted. We are now on 40 grand a week, and it's been extended to 2017, which is awesome news. So if we go and we have a look, we go club, and we go to ourselves and our contract. As you can see, it's been up to 40 grand a week now, and it expires in 2017. And there's the other little clauses that they add in there. But yes, that was great news for them to offer us a contract nice and early, get that out of the way, get us signed on the dotted line. Maybe make it a little bit tougher for them to sack us if it comes to it, especially if we've got new owners. That's one of the big things. When new owners come in, they may want to go in a different direction. They may choose to go with a different manager. So yeah, so it was kind of good news that we got signed on the dotted line. Just make it tougher for them to pay out, I guess, to sack us. And while we're on the subject of the owners, the takeover unfortunately collapsed. Yeah, so they could not find the funds in the end. The takeover collapsed, and apparently they couldn't find sufficient funds. So yeah, that was that. So a little bit disappointed because I was quite interested to see if we can get any money. I mean, at the moment our finances, they're not superb. We've got a projected balance of 8 million. The balance is currently 3.5 million. We've still got a transfer budget of 1.35 million, and we've got 50% transfer revenue. So if we have a look at the actual wages themselves, I mean, we can sort of play it around. Top end of 3.5 million, and then yeah, what about another almost 100 grand a week on wages? So not a lot to do there. It's going to be tough. I think I might concentrate on maybe some regens if we can afford them when the regen days come through for the different countries. So we'll have to see what we do with that. And also we've got some players that if we did decide to sell, we could sell them, and that's obviously if there was players around to reinvest. But we'll have to wait and see. But the owners, luckily, are still willing to listen to offers. So hopefully someone comes back in. I have known Aston Villa to be bought out previously before. I've never actually personally been for a buyout. So let's see what happens. And yeah, going forward, hopefully they do and we get a little bit of money. So yeah, that's pretty much all that's been going on. In regards to transfers, we've got ViyqEW joining at the end of the season. We actually applied for his contract. We approached to sign him, and he's actually joining. So ViyqEW. I had a couple of people on Twitter tell me to go and look at him. Obviously, I'm very well aware of him. He's probably the biggest known wonder kid that's approached to sign, other than Bilal Cheek, who we didn't go for in the end. And then Scott Sinclair, obviously we were aware of joining at the end of the season. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all that's happened. Let me know what you think about potential players to go for. Let me know what you think about potential players to maybe even loan. I mean, if I click on the loan list now, so these are the sort of players that we're looking at for loan. High end of the Tony, there's really nothing on there. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. There's a couple of youngsters but obviously we will prefer to get them long term. Then on the transfer list, if we have a look, it's the same. So it's very tight knit at the moment. It's very limited availability. We'll obviously have a look at the transfer window, see if anyone actually goes on there on the transfer list come January. So yeah, let me know about any players that you think I should try and approach to sign at the end of the season. And also, one of the biggest things I want you guys to tell me what you'd like me to go through that I'm doing. There won't be any live games, but I will love to go into more detail about different things, whether it be training, whether it be tactics, which I did in the previous episode. Like I said, if you want to check that out, you can. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So just get your comments in below, get your suggestions in below. Feel free to leave a like if you've enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. But yeah, I've been FM Campbell, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.